What up, folks? I'm ultrazillatoys. Today I have a review of the Transformers Legacy United Animated Universe Optimus Prime. And there he is in all his goofy glory. And you might notice he's a little loose in there because I filmed this entire opening, then opened the figure, and then realized I actually didn't film the opening. I filmed after I stopped filming the opening. Or at least I thought I was filming the opening, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, excuse me, Optimus. I just shoved him back in there. But anywho, he's a Voyager class figure, and this is one I was a little on the fence about. I had it pre-ordered, but I was like, I feel like I'm gonna cancel this guy, because this design was not like a super favorite, and the way they've done it here is, you know, to be more in line with the Legacy figures, and you know that means a little more serious than the anime style. I'd prefer it more animated, but I also don't have any representation of this Optimus in my collection, so I was like, you know what, let's just let it go through, and maybe one day I'll go back and get an old one, but for now this one's cool, and it's a new figure, and we like new figures here. It's the 40th anniversary of Transformers next year. Did you know that? But anywho, it's a pretty cool box. This is the figure we're all waiting for, though. That's right, in 2024, Magmatron. But anywho, I got this on Amazon. So without any further ado, let's get to this review. And here is Optimus, not exactly out of the package, because as you see here, he is in truck mode, which is in vast contrast to what I do here. I'm very adamant, usually, about starting in the mode that it comes in the package. But this time I thought I'd change it up because I decided to transform it before filming that opening, you know, robot mode, which is what I usually do before I even transform these things, because I don't like the transformations to influence like the other mode, if that makes sense. So I usually, you know, a little peek behind the curtain, I usually, for Transformers, review whatever it is out of the package and then, you know, move on. But this time I did not. I decided to transform it, and I don't want to do it again because I didn't like it. I didn't like the transformation. It felt, maybe this sounds a little weird, but it felt like a Rubik's Cube, this one. The way a lot of it kind of transformed and connected, and for whatever reason, the directions, you know, weren't very good. I wish, I don't know if you guys saw my unboxing for Deathsaurus, but those are in full color, the directions, and that's what they do with the HasLabs. I wish they would do that all the time, because some things just get very confusing in these like two color directions. To me personally, they're not the greatest, but you know, whatevs. This is how it looks in Cybertronian robot mode, or whatever mode it is. I'll be honest, I've only watched a handful of animated episodes. I know a lot of folks love this show. I could not get into it. I think I watched like the first 3 or so, and I was like, you know what? I feel like this is not for me. I wasn't into it too much. I do like some of the designs, like, you know, we had Bulkhead that came out last year, and in the Legacy line, and it was all right. I don't even know where that figure is. I doubt we'll be seeing it in this review, but, and I didn't get Prowl, and I think those are the only two. But anywho, obviously, storage of his weapon. We're going to look at the weapon later. But this is how it looks. And, you know, I feel like it's not... I don't like this. This weird gap here that has these things that I kept trying to connect to this, but ultimately it was not something that connected there. So to me, it's just weird and odd, and I don't like it. The whole front of the truck looks all right. You know, the parts that are painted up here look pretty good. I like the glossy black. I like the silver, although it could use like an extra coat. But it's fine. It has a very A-Team vibe to it. Then you got the yellow lights there and black windshield, which is fine. The rest is done in a red plastic. Up here you have this piece here that you have to put in when you take it out of the package. I don't know why they did it that way. I don't really see much else to do with this. Maybe I missed it in directions. I'll have to check it again. But you know, this top spoiler thing has, you know, translucent red and blue, and that looks pretty good. Little windows on the side look decent enough. Then on the back, you know, you do have his feet just folded up, as most Optimus things do. You got some color in there, but that's more from robot mode. You have the cheap tires, which have a decent sculpt, but I never like their tires. And this is such a weird truck because he's got really small tires in the front, and then, you know, you know what it is? They rattle in a way that makes everything sound cheap. And you know, when folks talk about the plastic quality on the Generations line, like being cheap, I really think they're all influenced too much by this, because this ends up this rattle that ends up sounding too cheap, and that's serious, because the plastic quality isn't that bad in the Generations line, to be honest. It really isn't. I know a lot of folks complain about it, but I think it takes a lot of flack, and it's all, to me, in the sounds that these rattling plastic wheels make. It does make it sound cheap. This is what the bottom looks like, and hey, that kind of looks fine as a truck, you know. So decent molded detail on the back, but you know, nothing to write home about. I'm not in love with this vehicle mode, and like I said, I didn't enjoy the transformation all that much. And for your size comparison in truck mode, here is Optimus with some other Transformers you might have in your collection. I thought I'd toss in a couple of these little vehicles from the Pacific Rim McFarlane line, just for fun, so you can see how small those are. But with that all said and done, there's only one thing left to do, and that's transform and roll out. Universe Optimus, all transformed. Again, not my favorite transformation. This is a little weirdness, but at the same time, there's some really cool stuff that goes on, like the legs. I've really liked how the legs transform and come all together. Like, I think it's really cool. The upper body is a little strange. There's a lot of tabbing that has to happen. And sometimes you feel like you did it, and then, you know, you feel like it's kind of not as far in as you'd want it to, but I don't know. Otherwise, it's fine. The only hollowness on this figure is in the interior of the upper legs. You know, not a big deal. But, you know, I wish it wasn't there, but not a big deal. Otherwise, it's pretty solid. Throw out. I think it works out pretty well. I like how the feet, you see how the feet kind of bent inwards? That was kind of neat. As for the look of this figure, now, I mean, they're going for a Generations version of animated Optimus. Now, if you ever watched Transformers Animated, it is one of the weirdest animation styles for Transformers, and it doesn't quite look like this. This is pretty much a regular Transformer toy. And that's what Legacy line is. It's taking all of these different Transformers series and kind of like making them into one like aesthetic. And I like that. I think it's a cool idea. It works. Some of this stuff looks less cartoony in the process, and that's good, I guess, depending on how much you like that sort of style and, or not. Again, I wasn't the biggest fan, so this kind of works for me, as did Bulkhead when I reviewed him last year. This really does work, in my opinion. So, to look at it further, we got those wheels again. But this whole bottom part is done in kind of like a periwinkle blue, like a light blue. It's alright, There's no other paint on it whatsoever, but the molded detail is pretty good. Same thing with the upper legs here. They're even worse because they have the hollow bits. But then, as you go up, obviously you get a lot more. So you got that blue again, but then you have yellow paint there, which is good. Nice Optimus touch. Then you got silver paint in here with the black. That looks pretty good. This is just plastic color, but that's silver. But it works. And again, you got the silver and black and yellow from the truck mode. Same thing here. You got that whole A-Team van thing going on the side there. I like that. I think it looks good. And then you got to add the blue to that, which is pretty cool. The fists, I think, look very nice. So that's pretty awesome. I like his big arms. He's kind of gorilla-like. And then, again, we see the axe, and this time we'll look at it. It is translucent plastic here, because it's like Energon axe. I like how it goes within here. That's pretty awesome. And then you have the painted detail here in silver. The top part is red, which is cool. And then you got more translucent. This whole thing is translucent, and it's just painted over. And then you got the gray bits here, which looks pretty cool. This extends, which is good because for some reason, I guess the hole on this side is a little bit too big and it doesn't hold it as well as this hole does. For me, at least, obviously your miles are going to vary. It has a little thing here. You could, do it here if you want. You could put it in the back as we've seen. I think it might go like this. It does go in some way, but I guess you could probably take this out and then utilize the bottom peg. Yeah, I guess you could do that. And then this, can you put it elsewhere? I'm assuming you can. Yeah, why not? It's like a little eagle or something. Is it an eagle? I kind of like that. That looks cool. That looked cool. Is that a thing you can do? It doesn't show it in the directions, and like I said, didn't get too far on the show, so but that looks cool. I don't know what it is, but I think it looks pretty cool. On the back, though, when you put it on the back, it does have a jetpack feel, so that's pretty awesome. And I think I remember him flying around a little bit. I could be wrong about that, but like I was saying, this does extend, so then you could do a two-arm thing. Like if I slide this through on this side and then have him hold it on this side, you could absolutely do it, which is cool. So give me a second. But yeah, you could do it. He'll hold it. I mean, I think he'll probably could even hold it even better. There we go. There you have it. Yeah. That's awesome. I like that. I really do. I think that looks very, very good. It's in proper Optimus colors. So, yeah, it's pretty cool. I discombobulated this guy ever so slightly while I was doing all that. So, little, break to recombobulate him. But I like how the chest is. I like how this goes in. I do like his arms. He does have kind of a gorilla-esque type body. Like Optimus Primal almost shaped. But the forearms are pretty cool. The upper arms are pretty cool. The big Autobot symbol is nice. Again, we saw the sides here. The back, nothing really to write home about. You do have some hollow bits here. I didn't really notice that before. I guess in there too. But it's dark. You really can't see it. Then you have all of this, which is, it is what it is. But the head sculpt, I think, is pretty good. It's different. It's weird, but it works. Like, I like his eyes. I like the black around his eyes. I like the blue of his eyes. It's a different blue, which is nice. And then the light blue, face is pretty cool. I like it's all outlined in black all around. I think that looks pretty good. You got the silver paint on the sides and on the bottom and in the middle there. And the rest of the helmet is very Optimus, but in that kind of, like I said, like a periwinkle type color. So it's interesting. It's different. I definitely wanted this in my collection because I didn't have an animated Optimus, like from the old toy line. That toy line finished up, I guess, right before I came back into collecting, like right before. So, and when I did come back into collecting, I did pick up a animated Takara version of Swoop, I believe. So I do have that somewhere in my collection. That was interesting, and that was still like available at like HLJ or something. But yeah, this guy's pretty cool. I don't mind him. Oh yeah, articulation. Let's just get that done. Forgot about it. Head moves pretty good, up and down. Good stuff there. You do have just a swivel here at the waist. There is another swivel up here somewhere, but you really can't really get to it for that, for anything. The legs come outwards, not that much. Kicks forward, goes back. You have a thigh swivel. You have a single jointed knee, but it's very deep. And then you have great rocker here. And I guess you could count that as articulation going outwards. The arms come out that much. You can swivel it all the way around if you choose. You have a bicep swivel. You have a double jointed elbow, which is pretty amazing. And then the wrists do swivel. So, you know what? Pretty decent articulation. It works pretty well, and you're going to get Optimus in a lot of great poses. And for your size comparison in robot mode, here is Optimus with a bunch of other Transformers you might have in your collection, including Bulkhead. I did find them, and I like how they look together. I think they look very cool. It does make me want to get that Prowl. Was that the only other one they did from animated? I'm not 100% sure, but you guys can let me know down below if you do indeed know. And my final thoughts, I don't hate this Optimus. I thought I might, and that's why I was unsure about pulling the trigger on it, but it's not bad. The transformation, I wouldn't say it's a pain in the butt, but it's, I didn't enjoy it too much. It was a little bit annoying, but there's aspects about it that is also kind of interesting, so on the fence about that. The truck mode is okay, but I do really like this robot mode. It's grown on me a lot. He's very heroic. He's different. Yes, he's cartoony, but that's the point. That's what, Transformers Animated was, and he's much less cartoony than he is in the series, that's for sure. So, I don't know. I do like the axe. I think it's pretty cool. It especially looks good in two hands, so articulation is decent too. It's not a bad Transformer, so I'm happy. As a Optimus Prime collector, I am glad I got it. It was definitely a needed design in my collection. There's some designs I'm like, you know what? I don't really need to get it. Kind of like that game one that's out now, that's just coming out now. Like, that's the new game with the two figures with Soundwave. Had it been by himself, I might have gotten that Optimus, but as a 2-pack, I didn't feel like spending the money. So, I'm glad I put it here, because I do like this one, and it's definitely way more unique. And there you go, guys. That's my review. Hope you dug it. Let me know your thoughts down below. If you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content, and let me help you diversify your collection, maybe sometimes with some Transformers. Till next time, peace out, people.